So we'll start with a quick review. The new accountability system has 3 domains: student achievement, school progress, and closing the gaps. To calculate the overall grade, we'll take the better grade from the first 2 domains and combine that with the grade from the closing the gaps domain, which must be at least 30% of the overall grade. This domain disaggregates data by student groups, and it's how we're planning to meet the requirements of ESSA. So for this domain, we'll look at 15 individual student groups. These are the student groups and indicators that we are planning to evaluate for each student group. I won't read through the list of student groups. They're pretty much the same ones that we've been using for several years now, with 2 exceptions. Students formerly in special education and students who are continuously enrolled. We will take a closer look at those 2 student groups in just a few moments. So the indicators we're using: academic achievement in reading, mathematics, writing, science, and social studies. We're looking at growth in reading and mathematics for elementary schools and middle schools. We're looking at graduation rates, English language learner proficiency status, the college and career and military readiness performance, that's from the student achievement domain, and then at or above meets grade level performance in reading and mathematics for grades 3 through 8. Now we're going to take a look at the indicators, and I'm going to explain how each of these indicators aligns with ESSA. So ESSA requires 5 indicators. The first one is academic achievement. So for the academic achievement indicator, we're going to use performance on STAR at the approaches grade level performance standard for all subjects. The targets will be held constant for 5 years. And Safe Harbor is available for each indicator, and we're going to look at Safe Harbor in a little greater detail in just a few moments. The second indicator that ESSA requires is growth for elementary and middle schools. So we're going to base this on the school progress domain. For high schools, we're going to look at graduation rates, and these are the federal graduation rates. They are not the state graduation rates that include exclusions. Once again, the targets will stay stable for 5 years, and Safe Harbor can be applied. The next indicator required by ESSA is the progress of English learners. So for that, we're going to use the TELPAS progress rate, which measures performance from prior year to current year as demonstrated by increasing levels on TELPAS. And the last indicator required by ESSA is described as an indicator of school quality or student success. So for the school quality and student success indicator, we're using the same college, career, and military readiness indicators that we use in the student achievement domain for high schools. For elementary schools and middle schools, we'll be using performance on reading and mathematics STAR exams at the meets grade level standard or above. And again, target should stay stable for 5 years, and Safe Harbor is available. So those are the student groups and indicators that we're planning to use to align the state's accountability system with the requirements of ESSA. One way to assign a grade for this domain is by looking at the percentage of data points that meet or exceed a target, but that doesn't address by how much a target is missed. So here's a feedback opportunity. Should we look at just how many targets are missed, or by how much a campus or district misses a target? So we're hoping for the first time in 15 years that we will have only one accountability system, because we'll be meeting the requirements of ESSA in the closing the gaps domain. Everything that we've described so far about this domain is in our state plan. Before we can move forward with this domain as we've described it to you, we have to get approval from the United States Department of Education. So some of these indicators may change based on the feedback that we get from the Department of Education.